It wasn't easy. The new owners took over December 1st. Not much time to try and gather enough clothes, toys, backpacks, and food to feed 4,000 children. The Pullen family has no ties to the area. They came from Ohio. Still, they felt the desire to do this. By day's end, 2,000 children from Nogales, Arizona, and 2,000 children from Nogales, Sonora will have come through their doors.
We're here until the last child is served, till child number 4,000 gets served. So if we go until 6, we'll be here till 6. If it takes till 9 tonight, we'll be here until the last child is served.
The Pullens are quick to say this is a community effort, with local business owners, civic groups, and government agencies from both sides of the border coming together.
It makes me feel truly blessed, really honored to be in a position to facilitate a partnership that benefits children. And children from 2 communities, 2 countries, there are no walls, and I think that it's an honor. It makes me feel inside emotionally overwhelmed with a sense of amazement that there are so many human beings on the planet who will step up to a cause and say, we'll help you. We get your vision. We understand. We want to do this. Count us in.
It gives new meaning to the idea of a happy meal. In Nogales, Arizona, Myrna Membrila, KGA 9 on your side.
And even when they're not having a big event like that today, that is one busy restaurant.
Yeah, it is. I've been there.
Me too, several times.
Many happy children there today, I guarantee it.
When I met Sylvia in 2009, she had work already done from Nogales in the city. We haven't been in the city yet. But bringing needy children to the McDonald's in Nogales, Arizona, and most of those children were without papers, without a visa, without a passport. And most of those children never had the experience of a McDonald's, of a Happy Meal, of a little toy. And it was a really big effort of Sylvia and her family and the former government in that time. When we won the election, I met Sylvia, and we had this idea about the Boys and Girls Club. You already have this. Actually, it's an institution of the U.S., a national campaign of the Boys and Girls Club. When we got into the city in Nogales, Nogales was in a very huge, difficult, violence way about drug cartels and all that stuff, as all Mexico too. And we knew that if we get attention of the youth, of our children, and I want to congratulate you because it's such an inspiration, and we know we're in the right track. Because I want to explain very briefly what happens in the border. And that what makes that happen is that there are a lot of moms, working moms, because of the maquilas. And those working moms, well, they work from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and your kids are in the streets. Because in Mexico, school hours is to 1 o'clock, maybe. So there's like 5 or 6 hours that your kids are in the streets. That's a very huge opportunity for drug cartels, for violence, for gangs or whatever, to take your kids and take them out of your hands. So we knew that if we could make a space for those kids to, well, grow in a nice way with the model of the Boys and Girls Club, which basically the Boys and Girls Club says we are making leaders. We don't only keep the children between we're making leaders. So that's a very great opportunity to us to take a bet on our children, and with prevention, in maybe 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years, we won't have the violence that is now consuming us. We are almost done. Sylvia has been really a great support for us. And when she invited us here, we didn't know that you were going to give us, at first in February when you told us that you were going to give us a donation. And we thank you, really. And actually, that is our story. We are very thrilled because we want to start, because there are going to be a lot of kids. 800 kids is a lot of kids. So, but we know that if you could save one life, you already done your job. So thank you for having us. Thank you, Sylvia.
I want to welcome our founder of this dream and where this all began. I want to welcome Ms. Gael Sylvia. She's the president of MTA Global Foundation and founder.
I've only been in Tucson for 3 years, and I've met wonderful people like Ann. Ann's the one that connected Dee Dee with the pilot's experience that you had this morning. I met Ann in a Pilates class. And now we're doing things globally. LaDon, oh, she knew us. Yeah, that's a long time. So lots of new friends, lots of old friends. We had the mayor from his wife and the women from the city council in Nogales, Sonora, Mexico, here today and speak at a session. They came up from Mexico. Dr. Melanie Harris, if you would stand up here from Dallas. I was with Dr. Harris in New York 3 weeks ago. We met when I was on a panel and talked about Girls Fly, but how this fits into a global model and wanting to get a gathering together that included Alice Walker, to which she says, would you like to come and have dinner with her in Dallas, which I was there last Thursday. She's sitting next to Rebecca Sweet and Eddie Perez from Ohio that did the dance session this morning. You can stand up. From Ohio. Stand up here. I started crying when I saw them because they mean so much to my heart, because they helped one of my longtime dreams become a reality. I'd always wanted to dance, but never saw myself as being a dancer. And they said everybody could dance. And then the first time I went on that ballroom dance competition floor, well, before I went on the floor, you came in the back room and you said, hey, how are you doing? I said, I'm a nervous wreck and I'm never doing this again. And you said, but you haven't done it yet. And then I went out with Eddie. As soon as the music starts and we put ourselves out there, a whole nother world opens up, an entire different experience. And I believe that's what everybody experienced this morning, was being available. These two girls, we went on a sushi scavenger hunt last November around Tucson, and then the next morning went to Chantilly Tea Room. And while we were together, we were talking about how much fun we were having, and I asked them the question, what do you dream of doing? What are your dreams? Hannah said, I dream of being in Broadway, dancing. And sitting next to her was a lady that was 40 years old. When we got to her and asked her what her dream was, she couldn't answer. She teared up, said, can you come back to me? So then we went around the room, and the younger the girls were, the more immediate their response, the connection that they had with their passion and their dreams. The older they were, the more disconnected. And their younger sister, Amy, who's not here right now because of other fun activities going on, said, but we need all girls at all ages to be able to know what their dreams are and to connect with them. Wouldn't it be fun to give this experience and share this with everyone else? That's how this started, from a conversation like that with women and girls between ages 9 and 55. And thank you, Hannah and Emily, so much. Thank you so much for wanting to share that. What Girls Flies represent today, and there are going to be people strolling in, so we're going to go through with the program, but they're coming in from different sites. Someone asked me, how did it start and what made Girls Fly so important to me. And my immediate response was, if you took how I live my life, how I view my life, pumped it with a whole bunch of steroids, which I don't use, and then jammed it into one day, it would be Girls Fly. It's this global perspective about the good around us, the good people who are actually around us, instead of all the negativity that we're so often bombarded with, especially by the media. There's lots of good, a lot of good people connected with their passions who are willing to share those passions. So I'm going to point to someone else, Evie Ramirez. Evie is one of the wonderful technicians that I use at Posse's Hair Salon. Shampoo bowl, talking. How's your daughter? She wants to be a pilot, and I don't know where to meet a pilot. Here's her daughter. Now stand up, stand up. And did you go up on a plane today? Are you going to be a pilot? Did you meet a pilot? How many pilots? 3. Yeah, there are 4 here today. From United Airlines, Lashonda Holmes, she's right here. From the Coast Guard, she flew in from Los Angeles.
Gael Sylvia has felt a deep connection to Belize, and particularly its girls and women, whom she credits for boundless compassion to her own family and countless others. She has been moved to give back, first working with a project with Special Envoy for Women and Children, Mrs. Kim Simplis Barrow. This year, they team up again along with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports to promote an inspirational week of activities for girls and women, starting from Standard 6.
Hi, I'm Gael Sylvia, and I'm so excited that you supported Girls Fly in Belize. Thank you so much for believing in the women and girls of Belize and in Girls Fly. What began for me as a dream in 2011 in Tucson, Arizona has now traveled to Monrovia, Liberia, and in 2013 to Belize City. This video captures some of the highlights. The week began with national media interviews that ignited international pride in the power of Belizean girls and their dreams. Over the course of the week, thousands of school-age girls focused on the believing in that voice within that takes their life on a course associated with their dreams. Each day was a lively, action-filled program designed for girls to not only connect with mentors, but to celebrate, to journal, to write, to share, to speak to the power of what they believe inside is important in their dreams. Where do we go from here? In 2014, we will expand the live participation for girls throughout the country. And through the power of digital literacy, we have girls already beginning their training as hosts on Sylvia Global and as citizen journalists. This will keep them connected not only with their peers around the world, but also with their mentors.